It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the films of January 18th, 2002. Only 2 movies to look at today, so we should get through this one pretty quickly. So, let's go ahead and talk about the biggest new release of the weekend, and, needless to say, it is quite a trip indeed. It's Cuba Gooding Jr. and James Coburn, 2 recent Academy Award winners at the time, in Disney's goofy, fun family comedy called Snow Dogs.
We're here at the Arctic Challenge, the race that celebrates the bond between man and animal. Meet the Snow Dogs. Diesel, Mac, Scooper, Duchess, Yodel, Sniff, Nana, and Demon.
These dogs are champions, except for Nana, of course.
Now, the greatest sled dog team in the world is about to get a new owner.
It's about a will. It's about some lady in Alaska. Alaska.
And this dentist from Miami is about to discover
Nobody said anything about a dog.
his inheritance really bites.
Where's those dogs? They're eating the house.
Why don't you pack up your big city butt and go back? Let go! Let go!
This winter,
Place your feet on runners, keeping your weight centering, blah, 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 blah.
they'll test him.
Okay. Ready? Set!
They'll teach him.
This is insane! I'll show him the regular sled doggy dog!
And take him on the ride of his life. But most of all, they'll make him a champion.
Maybe you need to finish what you started.
Walt Disney Pictures presents
Let's go! Rush!
Academy Award winner Cuba Gooding Jr.,
All this time I thought I wasn't in the right place, but I was.
Academy Award winner James Coburn, from a producer of George of the Jungle,
I finally understand sledding.
and the director of Beethoven.
Oh, my goodness gracious! Hey, wait, let's all be cool.
Ted, you really stepped in it this time.
Disney's Snow Dogs.
So yeah, that trailer pretty much sums it all up. Snow Dogs is an action-packed comedy your whole family will love. You can tell I'm getting the synopsis from Wikipedia and IMDb, not even Wikipedia, IMDb, but 8 adorable but mischievous jobs get the best of dog hater Ted Brooks, played by Cuba Gooding Jr., when he leaves his successful Miami Beach dental practice for the wilds of Alaska to claim his inheritance, 7 Siberian Huskies and a Border Collie, and discovers his roots. As Ted life goes to the dogs, he rises to the occasion and vows to learn to mush with his inheritance. Totally out of his element, he faces challenges he's never dreamed of. There's a blizzard, thin ice, an intimidating, crusty old mountain man named Thunderjack, played by James Coburn, in one of his last film roles, by the way, the Arctic Challenge sled dog race that's only 2 weeks away, and a life and death rescue. This fish-out-of-water, tail-wagging comedy is nothing but doggone good fun and a celebration of family, both human and canine. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm sorry for putting you through that, but, yeah, that's basically the plot of this movie. And yes, this was a real movie, so much so that I actually remember seeing it in theaters when it came out. It's been over 22 years since this movie has come out, and it's a stupid movie back then, it's a stupid movie now. And a surprisingly decent, fun, stupid movie. It's a bad movie. Don't get me wrong. It's a bad movie. It's a typical fish-out-of-water comedy. Let's take the guy who's been in the Miami heat and put him in the Alaskan cold, and all of a sudden, the jokes will ride for themselves, when they really do not. The pratfalls aren't funny, the dialogue is very cliched, riddled as all hell, as well as the plot, but here's the thing. I don't know why, but this movie just has that nostalgic feel to me. Like, I mean, it's a stupid movie, but there is this self-aware stupidity here that I kind of have to admire for it, because a lot of these movies that were coming out around this time tried to do the same thing and failed on so many levels. I mean, I would gladly take this over something like See Spot Run or Kangaroo Jack. And oh, by the way, in case you're wondering about Kangaroo Jack, Snow Dogg's success apparently led Kangaroo Jack to change from its original R-rated mafia comedy aspect to a family comedy. The film screenplay for that movie in particular was actually a mafia comedy in the style of Midnight Run. The film was pretty much finished and ready to go to be released. The producers saw the test footage, they realized the film didn't work and the cut didn't work, and they saw the early test screenings and the marketing campaign behind Snow Dogs and basically said, we're going to shift the marketing focus of this from a mafia comedy to a family picture. I'm sorry, let me get into the nostalgia critic voice. A family picture. And new footage was shot to include replace the animatronic kangaroo with a new CGI one, and getting into rap, and the film was edited to be more family friendly, and it was all downhill from there. Just like this movie is all downhill from there. I mean, so yeah, thanks Snow Dogs for Kangaroo Jack, I guess. Thanks for wasting everybody's time. Thanks for this movie that is not that great of a movie, and it's a bad movie, but it's one of those ones where it's just like, it's that little part of me that saw this movie back in the day that just says, I can't say that it's a completely awful movie. I mean, like I said, I would rather take this over something like See Spot Run or even Kangaroo Jack, because this at least knows what it's doing. I mean, come on. The advertising was so ridiculous. That whole thing with like the dogs with like the obvious fake expressions, and at the end when they're like talking, and you find out later in the film it's actually part of a dream sequence that Cuba Gooding Jr. is having. I mean, and for Cuba Gooding Jr., this is not the worst thing he did after he won the Oscar. I mean, Boat Trip and Radio still have yet to come out, so I guess this compared to those two movies, this is like watching Jerry Maguire again by comparison. But maybe it's because I love Brian Levant, the director, who also did the Flintstones, Beethoven, Jingle All the Way. I don't know. I don't know why I like this movie. It should be a movie that I absolutely despise. It should be a movie that I should say, avoid this movie like the plague, but I somehow can't do it, man. It's just like, that part of me that saw that movie as a kid still likes how ridiculous and stupid this movie was. And it's a ridiculous, stupid movie. Don't get me wrong. I would not recommend this movie to anybody unless you saw it as a kid in a theater or watched it on video or on the Disney Channel. If it was even on the Disney Channel back then, I sincerely doubt it. But again, anything was on the Disney Channel at least back in those days. I mean, compared to now. But yeah, not much more to say about this one. That's Snow Dogs is a trip, alright. It's quite a trip indeed. So, let us move on to the last movie we have here, and that is State Property.
Jay-Z, Damon Dash, Memphis Bleak, Emilio Sparks.
Game ain't over.
It's gonna be trouble. State Property.
Yeah, I never heard of this movie, and apparently it found some success because it later led to a sequel that came out a couple years later, but frustrated with being broke, Beans, played by Beanie Siegel, decides the only way to grasp the American dream is to take it. The film follows Beans and his crew, the ABM, as they take over the city, creating mayhem as their empire builds. Beans now struggles to maintain his family life while bumping heads with opposing gangsters and police. It all comes to a head when he cannot surpass the city's most notorious crew, run by Untouchable Jay, played by Jay-Z, and Dame, played by Damon Dash. The move Beans and the ABM decide to make come with severe consequences. So, it sounds like it's trying to be a new version of a Scarface, but doesn't sound like it had that much success. I mean, I guess it was somewhat of a success because the movie did not cost that much to make, and it still made back its like 4 times its budget and got thrashed by critics. I mean, I don't see any, but it's 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm just kind of curious what State Property 2 did, and it got better reviews. 14% better, but still better. But yeah, I've never seen this movie, so I can't really say for certain if it's any good or not. I don't know if it really warranted itself as a success to have a sequel, but maybe it did because it made 4 times its budget back, and they said, hey, give us another one, I guess. But But I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I don't know too much about this movie. I've never heard anybody really say it's something that you should definitely check out. But, yeah. Not much more to say about that one. So that is state property for you. So with that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies, and we'll wrap January up on the next episode with 4 movies this time around, including Mandy Moore in A Walk to Remember with Shane West, The Count of Monte Cristo, Richard Gere in The Mothman Prophecies, and Kung Pao Enter the Fist. So we'll take a look at all 4 of those movies on the next episode. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the place on the next page, check out the previous episode, and also don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this on this channel. So with that said, I am off. I will see you guys next time, and until then, as always, take care.